You know, I'm not sure if it's performance art or just self-referential humor, but it looks like the NCAA is finally investigating the ultimate target itself. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort, and joining me now on the phone to talk about the Miami situation, our college football writer Matt Hayes. And Matt, I'm a little confused about what the NCAA is investigating when it comes to this Miami situation. So just explain to me what's going on here.
Well, first I want to say congratulations to you, because that may be one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Someone saying the NCAA is investigating the ultimate target itself. I kind of like that. I wish I would have thought of that.
Use it.
Tom.
You can use it.
No, but I can tell you this is what it is. The NCAA had an investigator, Tom, who hired the attorney of the booster they were investigating, who was currently incarcerated, to help them investigate one of their own institutions they were investigating. You get it?
Not really.
I know it's hard to follow. It's hard to follow, but I'll just put it this way for you, okay? They stepped outside of their NCAA manual, and oh, by the way, they stepped out the laws of, the United States of America and what they were doing too. They decided to come clean and say, you know what we did was wrong, and now we're going to look into how it was done and the process, and we're going to hire somebody. He's going to look at all of our processes, including the Miami case and other ways we do things. And we all knew the NCAA was a discombobulated, dysfunctional embarrassment, and it just became patently clear.
So, in other words, just like a school might use improper procedures to woo athletes, now the NCAA is using improper procedures to investigate the schools.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, my friend, yes, that's how it works. Unfortunately, there's no, King Emmert who's standing over King Emmert saying, well, guess what? Now you're not going to go to the bowl game for 2 years, or now you're not going to go to a bowl game for 4 years. Now you're going to pay us $60 million in fines. The most damaging part to me, Tom, is the fact that they hired this attorney, the attorney for the convicted embezzler, by the way. Nevin Shapiro apparently, was convicted of a Ponzi scheme worth almost $1 billion. That's bad enough. What's worse is apparently, and this is what we're being told, that King Emmert didn't know until 3 weeks ago. So the most important guy in the NCAA is dealing with the most important case probably in the history of the NCAA on the field, and he knows nothing about it for 11 months. I find that hard to believe. Frankly, if that's true and he knew nothing about it for 12 months, he should be fired. And if he did know something about it and he's not telling the truth, he should be fired too.
Well, I've been watching, or recently watched a documentary on Watergate, because I'm kind of obsessed with Watergate for some weird reason. And part of the thing you see in that is the notion that, hey, we can't be, we are the law, so there's no way for us to be beneath the law. Is there any of that going on at the NCAA where they say, hey, we're judge, jury, and executioner, so the rules don't apply to us?
Of course. It's been going on for decades, Tom. I mean, it's not just this case. It's all over the place. And they randomly give out punishment. They randomly say, okay, you get lack of institutional control and you do not. And none of them make any kind of sense if you're starting to match up apples to apples and oranges to oranges and cases to cases. They pick and choose who they want to penalize harsh and who they don't.
Does this change anything with that respect, and what does it mean specifically for Miami?
I don't know where the NCAA goes right now. I think one thing they could possibly do is kind of farm out their infractions process where they're no longer even part of it. They just hire a company to do that. I think that would probably be a smart thing. But who knows what they do? I mean, the reality is, and people always forget this, Tom, is all the NCAA is the member university presidents. That's all it is. And they hire one guy to represent them, and that guy is Mark Emmert. Everyone always thinks, oh, it's the big bad NCAA. They're going to take care of college sports. They're not doing anything. Mark Emmert is doing what the presidents are telling him to do, Tom. And I think people kind of forget that every once in a while.
All right, there you go. And as far as Miami goes, does this change their ultimate fate?
I just can't see two things: how the NCAA could win this case, number one, against Miami, and number two, how the NCAA could legitimately sit across the table from a Miami attorney who's going to look at them and say, okay, every time they ask him a question, he's going to say, how do I know this information that you got wasn't obtained illegally? To me, they'll come out and they'll say, Miami's already self-imposed 2 years of bowl bans. We're going to take that as their penalty. We'll take away 8 scholarships or something, and that'll be it. I can't see Miami getting much harsher of a penalty than they've already self-imposed.
All right, well, there you go. We'll have to leave it there. Matt, thanks so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, Tom.